Isak did things that Kai Havertz could never do. We start with scoring goals.
Would Arteta be under any sort of pressure if he wasn't to win anything this season?
I think yes, because after this season and the season before and the season before that one, the other one, Arsenal are striving for something going on, and they need something. They need the silverware. They need the league. They need the league. I mean, they were so close the season before, last season as well, that they want something, and they're far away from Liverpool. So he's under pressure, and if at least he doesn't win the Carabao Cup or something else, maybe the FA Cup or the Champions League, he's going to be under pressure because he made the wrong choices. We kept on saying, and it wasn't only me or Craig or Shaka, it was everybody, all the pundits. They say they need a striker. It's not like there is conspiracy against Arsenal. They needed a striker. They didn't buy the striker. Now they are suffering because they don't have a striker. So that's his mistake. And we all know that that's a turning point. And it's why he's not scoring goals today, because he doesn't have a striker. So it's because of his bad choices in recruitments that is under pressure. And yeah, if he doesn't get anything out of it, out of his season, yeah, he should be, for me, he should be fired.
Oh, that's quite strong, Frank. I don't think if he win, I think if he, to be honest with you, I think if at the end of the season, if Arsenal have won nothing, I don't think his job is under any sort of threat. I think where the problem will come is, you know, if Liverpool stretch away and win the league at a canter and they don't address, and he doesn't address with his colleagues in his recruiting department, the obvious deficiencies in this squad in the summer, then I think next season is a different kettle of fish. There is no doubt, and we talked about this with Stuart Robson a week or two ago, there is no doubt this Arsenal side have made progress in the last 2 or 3 years, a lot of progress. This season's been a little topsy-turvy at times for various reasons, whether it be form of some players, some injuries to Odegaard and to Saka, but they have the foundation of a squad and a back four in midfield to go and really, you know, be potentially the strongest team in England. But they have to address these scenarios. You're not going to do that with mediocre players at that level, and that's what they have in these areas. You know, they have players in the Havertz and Jesus, for example, and even though Jesus was at Man City for quite some period and did a decent job, a lot of the times it was not as the number 9, it was as a left-sided wide player doing a job tracking back. These guys wouldn't get in, you know, this front line, Jesus and Havertz would not get into the Newcastle side, right? They would not get into the Chelsea side at the moment because Jackson's had a good season. They definitely wouldn't get in the Liverpool side. They would not get in the Man City side. So here we have a team in Arsenal who were many people's favourites at the start of the season for the Premier League, and yet they have 2 supposed number 9s or 2 frontmen that wouldn't get in any of the top 6 in the Premier League. That kind of tells you.
If you were an Arsenal fan, would your concern be that Arsenal don't seem to have, if you like, a plan B?
Yeah, unfortunately, me and Nigel would text each other throughout the game. It's the same stuff. They do the same patterns of play. They're going down one side. They're trying to play inside. They're trying to get a third man runner. And all Newcastle did just went 5 and 5 and said, "Go on then, break us down." And they couldn't do it. Yes, they had a couple of chances, but the chance that came from Martinelli was a turnover. That wasn't exactly that they worked it, and the rest was from, you know, second bits on corners. So it's not exactly like they're breaking teams down. The one problem we threw at Arsenal's door for the last 2 years, they need a striker. And every year, MIKEL chooses not to do that. He goes with Gabby, and now he goes with Havertz, and they think they can do it. But in the crunch time, those guys go missing, unfortunately. And that's...
Isak did things that Kai Havertz could never do. We start with scoring goals, but you could also start with the way he drops into the midfield and links play and makes them more fluid. He's the piece that they're missing. We mentioned that before the game started, and that's what we saw. They became one-dimensional throughout the game. They kept going wide, no one to cross the balls into. Havertz missing chances, Martinelli missing chances. And then, what I really liked and what got Nigel screaming and pumped up was, once they had 2-0, watch what they did. Eddie Howe goes, "Okay, Isak, you're out. Come out, because there's big games coming up. And we're going to defend and manage this game for 30 minutes. Yeah. And it was not pretty for them for 30 minutes, but who cares? They managed the game. If it was Tottenham, if it was Big Ange, they would have kept on going and going and going. Maybe that game ends 2-2. They give Arsenal a chance. Newcastle said, no. we're going to stay here. You keep pumping balls in the box. You keep set piece after set piece. We're going to be. They left Joe Linton in the game. He makes the point. Big bodies, big personalities, and they managed the game. I thought they were very good tonight.
And that's credit to Eddie Howe, because people don't look at the tactical element of that. Joe Linton's played a lot of games for Newcastle, but Eddie Howe knows that you need his presence and his physical strength in set pieces, which is what Arsenal are dangerous at. You keep him in, you bring Longstaff in as well, who's another industrious midfielder, got a good height to him as well. But then at the same time, you still leave the ability to counter-attack. You bring on Harvey Barnes, who gives you that option to hit Arsenal on the counter-attack. So these are small tactical changes which benefited Newcastle and were great.
And when we say that they're one-dimensional, how many times did we see Arsenal get the ball, Newcastle set in a block in front of them, right? And they play the right combination, boom, wide. Then no answer, no one to cross the ball to, no 1v1 ability. You lose Saka, and you don't have anything. They're so dependent on Saka. It's
and
crazy.
Set pieces.
And Saka and set pieces. So once you know how to stop that, and that's what Newcastle knew. They knew that Saka was not going to be there. Martinelli not enough on his own. Trossard, did he play tonight in the game? And then not having the reference point of what Isak can bring, what the big strikers can bring in the league. Not having that with Kai Havertz.
Time, what worries me for them, on the outside looking in, is we're getting excited by set pieces all the time instead of excited about that free-flowing football, and that's what Arsenal's known for. And they're going away from it. We're shying away from it at this moment in time. You can see at times the players are running out of ideas. They can't at times play off the cuff, should we just say. They're playing to a system at times, and it gives the opportunity for Newcastle, who defended incredibly well and enjoyed defending, but it gave them time to get back into shape. When there's space to attack teams, I think we go away from it at times.
And it was sorry, Claude.
I was just going to say, Mark, I think what you're so right, and what Newcastle are is they're a big, powerful side, so they're not going to be scared of set pieces. They've got players like Dan Burn that are going to head it, Botman's going to head it, you could bring Isak back, you've got Joe Linton. So they just thought to themselves, when Arsenal do their whole set-piece routine and they all got the back post, they were like, we're going to stay in our positions, that ball's going to come in and we're going to make sure we attack it. And they were excellent. But they've still got work to do, because I've been in this position before as a player, and you think, we've done the hard work, we'll get them at home, everyone's got to stay calm because even the crowd are going to get excited. Arsenal will come back into this game. If they score a goal early, it's still game on. This is not a foregone conclusion just yet.